In the previous lecture, we have studied what are the mechanical comparators. Okay, so mechanical comparators are self controlled and they do not require any power output or power source to run them. Okay, and there is no need of any other energy. Okay, there is no need of external energy to run them. Okay, the next point for mechanical comparators is it employs mechanical means for magnifying the small movement in the measuring stylus. Okay, what is a measuring stylus, that we will discuss in the next slide. The movement is due to the difference between the standard and the actual dimension being checked. Okay, every workpiece or every job will have two dimensions. One is the standard dimension, and this dimension is given in the drawing. Okay, and actual dimension means which is given or which is we have calculated on our 3D workpiece. Okay, or the workpiece that we have manufactured. So that will be the actual dimension, and standard dimension will be it is on the paper. Okay, so these dimensions, in order to compare these dimensions, we need the mechanical comparators. Okay, so the movement is due to the difference between standard and the actual dimensions being checked. Okay, every standard dimension is given with or tolerance, some sort of tolerance is provided in order to uh, get the diversified, or in order to get engagement with different parts. Okay, so some tolerances, limits, fits are provided on each and every workpiece or each and every drawing. Okay, so that the manufacturing becomes flexible. Okay, there is a tolerance of plus or minus 0.5 mm's. Generally that much of tolerance is provided when we manufacture two mating parts. Okay, so in order to check the dimensions and in order to compare the dimensions, basically the standard dimensions and the actual dimensions, okay, we need these mechanical comparators. Okay, so now one by one we will discuss the types of mechanical comparators. So the first basic type of comparator is dial indicator. Okay, so what is a dial indicator? So it amplifies the length or displacement and translate it into the rotational motion of pointer over the circular scale. Okay, what is basically happening here is the linear, or you can say rotate so, the linear, or we can say the translatory motion of this stylus is being converted into the rotational motion, and that motion is provided to the pointer. Okay, and the pointer will show the reading on the measuring scale. Okay, so what are the applications of this dial indicator that we will study? So applications are the dial indicator is used to compare the two heights or distances between the narrow limits, then for determining errors in the geometrical forms, then for testing alignment, roundness, parallelism of workpiece, then again for quality control and inspection work. Okay, so for this purpose we use this basic instrument, and that instrument is nothing but the dial indicator. Okay, now in the next slide we will study the diagram of this dial indicator. So before that, what is dial indicator? So it amplifies the length or displacement. To amplify means it magnifies, or it uh, gives the input. After taking input, it gives the output, and that output is very much large, okay, so that the smaller input can be magnified, or the smaller input can be represented on the measuring scale with a greater accuracy or with major displacement, okay. So it amplifies the length or displacement and translated it to rotational motion of the pointer over the circular scale, okay. So here you can see, so this is our dial indicator. So out of this is the stylus, okay. So this is the contact point they have shown here. Then a spindle is here, okay. So this spindle is further connected to the internal linkings, and the internal linkages are connected to the pointer, okay. As this contact point moves up and down, then what will happen? So this indicator will oscillate on this circular scale, okay. So in this diagram or in this photograph you can see, so the spindle is a rotating it is a moving part, okay. Then stem is a fixed part. Then this outer dial, again it is fixed one, pointer is moving part. Then these are the tolerance hands, okay. So some amount of tolerance is provided, and that tolerance hand we can set in order to get the tolerance provided in the drawings, okay. Then bezel is there, this short hand is there, okay. This short hand is generally uh, introduced, or it is the purpose of the short hand is to give the small dimensions. Generally the dimensions or the readings given by this short hand will be in decimals, okay. And this is the inner dial, okay. So this is the scale or circular scale is there, okay. And along that scale, if the pointer, right now the pointer is showing 20 units, okay. So what is that 20? So as the surface finish of the workpiece over here, if suppose some trough is there or some crest is there, in that case what will happen? So this stylus or this contact point will go inside that trough, or it will come above that trough, okay. So because of that, what will happen? The spindle will move up and down, okay. When the spindle is at its original position, then the pointer will show you the 0 reading, okay, because the spindle is at its original position, okay. As the spindle moves up or down, so it will show the readings in positive or negative direction, okay. So this is a kind of dial indicator. So why is it known as dial indicator? Because it has this circular dial over here, okay, and the pointer is showing how much crack, or how much the surface finish, how rough is the surface finish, that we can get with the help of this pointer, okay. And this short hand will give you the accurate reading of the, or it will give the decimal places, okay. So for that purpose the short hand is provided, okay. So this is the basic principle of all comparators. Generally comparators are employed in order to compare dimensions, okay. You will be given the standard dimensions and you will have to calculate the actual dimensions of the workpiece, okay. So this is a very simple and mechanical type of comparator. So with the help of this, one can easily give what are the readings or how the surface finish of the product is. Okay. Now the second type of comparator is read type of comparator. Okay, it is again very similar to the previous one. Okay, so over here you can see, so there are points A, B and C. Okay, out of this A, B, C point, A point is fixed. Okay, it will not move in any case. Okay, then B point is there, which is the moving spindle, or you can say moving block. Okay, so it is a floating block, and C is nothing but the reed. Okay, so in this case what is happening, so spindle is here. Okay, what is the function of spindle? So spindle will give you, or it is the part which takes or which gives input to the instrument, or which gives input to this comparator. Okay, so over here you can see the spindle displacement is shown. Okay, so as the spindle displaces up and down, then what will happen? So the displacement is fed to the reeds. Okay, and those reeds are connected, or those reeds are in contact with the floating block B. Okay, so as the spindle moves up and down, the displacement is taken, or the displacement is traced by the spindle will be given to the reeds, and those reeds will give the same displacement to the floating block. Okay, and because of that what will happen? So here you can see two rods, okay, denoted with the help of the alphabet D. Okay, hatching lines are there. So out of this, one rod is connected to A point and second rod is connected to the B point. Okay, because of this what will happen? So, and one horizontal line is here. Over here you can see one horizontal line. Because of that what will happen? So one part will remain fixed and another part will give displacement. So because of that what will happen? This kind of shape happens, or this kind of signal is given to the pointer. Okay, or given to the linkages, and those linkages will displace this pointer. Okay, so over here in this diagram you can see, first of all, A, B and C are at its original position. Okay, and because when A, B and C are at original positions, the pointer is at 0. Okay, and after giving the displacement to the spindle, what is happening? You can see some dotted lines in this B and C, or in this square block you can see dotted lines. So dotted lines is nothing but the second position of the spindle. Okay, so as the spindle moves up and down, so these are the dotted lines which are the displacement of B and C. Okay, and because of that what will happen? The pointer will get deflected to this position. Okay, so these dark lines are nothing but original position of this reed type of comparator, and the dotted lines over here, uh, again you can see one horizontal dotted line is there, then these inclined dotted lines are there. Okay, so these are uh, the displacements of the C and B points when the displacement is given to the spindle. Okay, and because of that what will happen? The spindle will, the pointer will move in either of the directions. Okay, either here or here. Okay, depending upon the type of displacement given to this reed type of comparator. Okay, so reed type of comparator uses a frictionless reed mechanism, okay, for magnifying small motions of the spindle. Okay, very small displacements are also taken, or very small displacements are also recorded with the help of this reed type of mechanism. Okay, and you can get the value of the displacement in the form of rotational motion, and you can easily find how much is the reading on the circular scale, okay, shown by the pointer. Then next type of comparator is sigma comparator. Okay, so the diagram over here you can see one blue color plunger is there. Okay, so this is the plunger and this is the complete part. Okay, then split diaphragm is provided over here, then knife edge. Okay, then these are the screws. With the help of these screws we have connected this plunger with the knife edge. Okay, so these screws are nothing but the fixtures. Okay, and what the screws are fixing? So the screws are fixing the plunger with the help to the this knife edge. Okay, and then here again a split diaphragm is there. Okay, we will first understand the diagram. Okay, so this is the fixed member and this is the moving block. So the primarily what is happening, so this displacement given to this plunger will be taken by this plunger, then the knife edge will get that displacement and the displacement is fed to this cross strip hinge. Okay, or you can say this moving block. Then the red line you can see, okay, so which is known as Y arm. Okay, as it is in the shape of Y, so we can, or we say it as the Y arm. Then what happens? This Y arm is next connected to the driving drum. Okay, over here you can see one driving drum is there. Then this phosphor bronze driving band, which is the material of this Y arm. Then this is the pointer spindle, over here you can see, and this is the pointer. Okay, and the pointer is showing the reading on the circular scale. Okay, now we will understand how this sigma comparator works. Okay, in this comparator what is happening, so up and down motion, again the surface finish of the workpiece can be found out with the help of this sigma comparators, or you can find out the dimensions, correct dimensions of this of the workpiece with the help of the sigma comparators. Okay, so what is happening, so the plunger will move up and down. So this up and down motion of the plunger is recorded or is connected to the this knife edge. As this plunger moves up and down, so the knife edge also moves up and down. Okay, so here is the distance small a, which is from the knife edge up to the cross strip hinge. Okay, so as this knife edge pushes this sapphire bearing block down, then what will happen? Now this is the fixed member, it will not move from its place. Okay, and this is the moving block. So what will happen? So this cross strip will move like this, okay, and this part after moving down, what will happen? So it is further connected to this Y arm, okay. So this is again a fixed link which is pivoted at this point, okay, and because of this displacement downwards, what will happen? So this link will bend like this, okay. After bending, what will happen? So the small bends or small displacement of this knife edge or small displacement of this moving block is recorded by this Y arm, okay, and this Y arm is further connected to this driving drum and pointer spindle, okay. Because of that, what will happen? So these are all mechanical arrangements. So these mechanical arrangements, what they will do? So there are gears and linkages mechanism is there. Because of that, what will happen? The pointer will oscillate or pointer will move in the direction, okay, along the scale, along the measuring scale, you can say, okay. And complete dimension or very small change in dimension can be magnified and can be recorded on the scale, okay. Generally, comparators are used to compare the standard reading and actual readings, okay. So very small actual readings or very small changes in actual reading can be recorded with the help of these comparators, okay. Whether those comparators could be uh, any type of comparator, for example mechanical comparators are there or pneumatic comparators are there, optical comparators are there. Any type of comparator is employed or any type of comparator is used in order to compare the standard readings and the actual readings, okay. So with the help of these comparators, so what are the applications? So it works on the leverage principle in which the high magnification is obtained, okay. If you give very small input, it will give very large output, okay. So a very small surface finish or very small change in dimension can be recorded with the help of these comparators, okay. Whether the small input could be of a single okay, 1 or 2 can be traced by this plunger, and that 1 or 2 of dimension change can be recorded on this measuring scale with the help of pointer, okay. So basically the comparators are used to magnify the errors, okay. So very small input, if you get very small input, so the comparators will give very large output, okay. So that's why comparators are employed to find out the errors in the actual and standard readings, okay, or you can say in actual dimensions and standard dimensions, okay. So this is the function of mechanical comparator. We have seen the dial indicator, then read type of comparator and sigma comparator in this video. In the next video we will move for the next, that is pneumatic type of comparator and optical comparator, okay. So thank you very much. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box below, okay. So thank you very much for watching this video.